Good day, fine friends. Oh, hi there, hi there, hi there. I feel like it's been such a long time coming, and here I am. And I have landed. I've landed. I'm landed. Yay! My name is Witch Ray Bluebird, and I'm here for you guys for several reasons. And you know what? It took me a little while to figure out why and where and what. It's been an adventure. I'm not sure if that's, we could use that word, but there's a lot of words to use. So, I'm going to introduce myself. It's my pleasure to introduce myself. I want you to know that I am here for you guys, which makes me happy. I have awakened to the person who I am here and now. Okay, I understand what I'm saying now. Okay, so it was about 3 years ago. It was about, so we're here in 2020, and it was probably about the end of 2017, the beginning of 2018 that I had an awakening. And I wish there was another way I could say that, because it just sounds so common and ordinary, but it is nothing like common or ordinary. It's exciting and enlightening and expansive and beautiful and hard and deep and intense. And well, what brought me there could be a lot of reasons, and that could be up for debate even, but it was during a time where I was finding myself in a difficult place, a place where I had no longer recognized myself. I didn't feel happy anymore. I was not where I had decided to go previous years. Got me to a place where no longer worked for me. I'm probably not the only one that's happened to. I'm gonna think that perhaps maybe that's happened to one or two of you as well. But I'm here to tell you about my experience. It's unique, and I'm here to share with you, and to help you. So I'm going to give you some of my backgrounds. So that person that I saw, you know what? Was it the person or the circumstances? It was the circumstances that led to me looking into the person, my person, and realizing I was no longer happy, and then I had to find out what was going to make me happy. I made a series of decisions that got me to a point that took me away from my core self. So I lost my core. Your core is your base. It's your root. Without that, it's a little scary. Where do I go from here? Not only am I in an uncomforting, unloving, scary, difficult, dark place, but I don't have me that I've always had before my whole life. You know, I've always had me, the person that I trusted and knew. And I was pretty confident within that person, but I lost her. It was scary, real scary. But, you know, I heard this saying a couple years ago, and it just, when I heard it, I was like, it struck me as like, wow. I'm pretty sure maybe it's not as wow as I thought it was. What wows me may not wow others, safe to say. But you could say I found the gold in the black. The gold is in the black. Self-explanatory, I think. So within these dark periods and these dark times and these really difficult, long, I mean, I don't want to go on and on about how terrible it was, but I've really always been a happy-go-lucky kind of person, really optimistic, honest, lovable, good people around me. I didn't know ugly, you know, I didn't know ugly. I never experienced it. I did my best to be everything but ugly. I knew that I wanted to be a light in this world. I knew that I wanted to be a source of positivity no matter where I went, no matter who I was with. I knew that from a young age. I did not know that there was a brighter light that was inside me, untapped. So what happens is you go through these dark testing. They become cycles. But let's not even get to the cycle part, because that means you start here, you go to 10, and then you're done. So that's like, and I'm just starting here with the beginning of the story. So, so you go through these difficult times, and I think what makes you find the brilliance through that is because you're looking for something to save yourself. I needed something. So you're searching, and you're lost. But I don't want to stay there, keep going there again. I want you to understand, we're going to have so much to talk about that this isn't going to matter soon. But I'm going to tell you about it now so you understand, on the same page. But there's all fun to come. No more negativity. So anyway, I wasn't a different person. I just lost the person that I was. So I no longer, what was the definition of what was life again? I hadn't seen prior what was buried under a lot. I mean, who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Does everybody go searching deep, deep, deep within, under, about, underneath, on top? Does everybody do that? I don't think so. I don't think so. I've come to the conclusion now where I have put so much work into myself, which has been incredible. And remember, this stemmed from a real dark, dark time. So that's a beautiful thing right there, right? You're in this dark time, and you're not only does your being come back to you, your person, your real person, true person that you knew before, but that person comes with a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. The harder it gets, the harder it gets, the harder it gets. Every once in a while, it wasn't like the easier it gets, the easier it gets, the easier it gets. The harder it gets, the harder it gets, the harder it gets. But every once in a while, there would be these bursts of magic. Literal magic does exist. I am here to tell you that for sure. But it would be a spark of divine guidance. It was like a shooting star that came through you, up and out, and it showed you this light of brilliance that was going to take you somewhere. So I guess you have to get those in order to keep going. Otherwise, I mean, there were probably 36 times where I said, I'm not going to make it anymore. I can't do this anymore. I cannot do this anymore. And you probably want to know some more background of me and where I came from. I'm not complaining. I'm not here to complain, and I am not here to say I've had a horrible life, because that is not the case at all. I've been dealt some challenges, but they were given to me for a reason. And if you work hard, you know what? And I'm a little worker bee as it is, so it wasn't like I had to be like, okay, I'm gonna work hard at this now. You know, working hard and obtaining information is, I like it. I like to do that. Both. You know, if it's information that is new and something I'm interested in, then give it to me. I found a area of studies that I just was like, yes, this is great. The whole first part of my life, I had a career that I love and am also here for, passionate about. But it was the same for 30 years since we don't have to get into numbers, but my entire career I've worked in, with dogs, animals, pet industry. I'm part dog, and I had a great prior career life working with dogs. I mean, that's a beautiful thing. But I'm a person who likes variety and change and new things. And so as much as I love dogs, I mean, since I was 3, 2, 1, I was an only child, so there'd be a bunch of adults, and then there was the dog, and me. Me and the dog. Wherever the dogs were, I was with them, and I just felt a connection with them. it was inside me. So from what I've said, I think it's clear and safe to say that I follow what is within me, what's inside me. My intuition is my great guidance. It is, it's how I function. So, and I'm a feeling person. I feel everything around me. I absorb things around me. I take notice to everything. So there's a lot to see and learn, but I found the most interesting learning with dogs. So that's been wonderful. But I'm here now for a different reason, which I'm excited about. Because there's been something else that has been a part of my life up until now, not hidden, just part of me, that it's my person, it's what I do, it's who I am. But you don't know that until you stop and you recognize and you check yourself. Check yourself is like a very light way to say it. I dove into the self-discovery pool. I like hopped in, clothes on, didn't matter. Hair done, everything. I went in and I swam in that fishbowl for 3 years, every moment that I could. I took a lot of risks, a lot of chances, which was a learning experience within itself, because what happens a lot is we are brought up being taught certain ways about certain things, and you become programmed. Your brain just takes in these things and then has automatic responses. So sometimes they're blockers to what you really want, and you don't know why, because they're just automatic, subconscious. And try figuring that out. My goodness. But I feel good right now, which I'm so happy about. And so this is what I said before. Part of my life, just being me, besides a career and all other work, the person that I always was and still is, the person that I'm the communicator. I am the teacher, I'm the person that everybody comes to when they need some guidance or some help or somebody to talk to. I just happen to have this way where I can look at a person and I can see them. I can see who they are. I can see what they're thinking without them, before they even speak. So there goes my intuition. It also has to do with being an empath, which I just was part of the past 3 years learning about. So much to learn. I just get lost in my mind and my head. So I also, so part of these studies and part of finding out all that I found out was stemmed from hearing the word numerology after a yoga class. that started me into the metaphysical studies. And that's when I say study and self-discovery, that's where it started and continued, and then everything else that was connected to it, I was there. I have so many books and journals and written notes and vision boards and affirmations, and so much so that I think I got lost. Like, I got lost in it. It was almost like, okay, now this is too much information. Now stop. And I did. But then it's like, all right, now what? What do you do with all of this? Here I am. So I was going to say, I'm the person that I am going to be your visionary guide. I am your intuitive guide. I am able to resolve problems. I am your problem solver. I'm a Gemini, so there's a duality about me. I am able to see different perspectives. I can remove myself. I can remove the characteristics and persons of the people who are trying to understand certain things, and I see what they need in order to understand what's being brought to them, whether it be a conflict amongst two people, a concept, and I can deliver it to you, to whoever it may be, in a way that you can understand it comfortably. This is something I've learned that I can do before this new stuff, but it was just something I always did regularly, normally. It was a normal trait of mine, which I didn't recognize for a very long time. But now that I recognize it, I want to offer it to people, because what I've also come to conclusion today is this is kind of what this. Okay, so I told you where I was, where I've been up until now. I just got out of this is April 2020. We are among the pandemic that's happening in the world. I was just in a webinar about peace and prosperity, and it's a combination of finding a balance and an intuition that is able to guide you to be a millionaire. That's one aspect where I missed out on for all the years. That one never came to me. The millionaire thing, the a lot of money thing, I missed out on that boat. So I figured the webinar would be awesome. There's this guy who wrote a couple books. He's been on, whatever shows, and he's well known for, I think his book is The 9 Rules Millionaires, or The 9 Mistakes Millionaires, whatever. He's a millionaire. He learned how to make money, and I can appreciate it, not just being a millionaire, but the way that he went about it and found it is right up my alley, so I can understand it. Maybe that's a good way to put it. It's something that I can recognize. So that's one challenge in my life. So anyway, I'm in this webinar, And there's just maybe 6, 7 people part of it. It's a newer thing for me, the Zoom people. We've been on lockdown, so you know, I like to be with people. I like to bounce ideas off people. I'm the communicator, so I'm kind of excited because there's like people, you know, and we talk and we're gonna do this stuff with people. It doesn't take much to excite me, but people talking, exciting. This was the day that I figured it all out. It all came together through this funny little hour-long webinar. Here's this millionaire paired with a yoga instructor who is more than a yoga instructor that I have known and cherished and followed for years, that I adore. So that's what got me there. So they've paired and made this course, as many are doing. I don't know if you've I don't know if you've seen any kind of advertisements for any type of webinars or master classes, or they're everywhere. I feel like I'm being bombarded by all these different classes to do and learn anything you possibly want. That's another reason why I'm here, because it doesn't have to be complicated. All that we're going through, all the fear and the uncertainty and the unknown, number one, was predicted through astrology. I knew that there were going to be large changes happening in 2020. I had planned on coming out and speaking to you all, and I did. I think I took most of the videos down that I had put up, but I think I left one up. But I wanted to, I'm going off topic here, I wanted to help everybody understand how easy it all can be. And when we're in a state of confusion and uncertainty and fear and this catastrophe, I mean, it's a horrific event that's taking place globally, how you can get yourself good standings, a solid footing. I want to teach you how to do that. It doesn't have to be hard. You don't have to sign up for 8-week seminars and webinars, and there's too many. How do you decide which one you're going to do? And then you have to remember to get on the computer, and I don't know. It doesn't have to be that hard. It's really not that hard. It's really not. Trust me. Put the work in. But it was tonight when I was on this webinar with this millionaire and these other people, and I realized that I was not like anybody else. Like, it really stood out. There's been a couple times where I thought, actually no. I mean, years ago, I was almost confused, like more years ago than 3 years. Why do I was definitely recognizing that I was different and that I saw things differently, and I didn't understand why everybody else did this thing that I thought was like completely ridiculous. And I think the thing I speak of is like society and the like norm and the regular and I just couldn't get on board with that. And I recognize that came to me probably about maybe 5 years ago, something like that. I didn't know what to do. I thought I was the only one, and why was I the only one that felt this way? Well, now what's happening is, as 2020 comes in, structures, forms, big government, it's all being broken down and restructured, and everything is changing as we know it. So this is where I come in, because this is me. I was designed this way, so I'm here now for you. What everybody now sees as crazy and scary and uncertain, to me, seems absolutely normal. I mean, do I think that people should be dying all over the world? Absolutely not. Is there a bigger picture to this? 100%. Is there a lot more that goes into this? Absolutely. Are we going to talk about it right now? No. But so tonight with the people, it was just, it's like you can go through years and years and years and years of reaching out to people and having connections and learning this and getting a grip on that and learning about all these different things that are kind of connected but kind of not. All your interests. And there's one moment. It could be a word. It can be a scene, a moment in a day by yourself outside. It can be a person. All of a sudden, you're like, I fucking get it. I fucking see it now. I get it. I know what I'm supposed to be doing. I didn't know what I was supposed to be doing. I knew I was supposed to be doing. No, I knew what I was supposed to be doing. I didn't know how. And I wasn't positive where to begin. So, it was tonight when it was so clear and obvious that I was so beyond, and I felt like it was as if I was a different species than these other people. Here's this millionaire. I've got like $50 left in the bank. I laugh about it. I mean, I don't really, whatever. You learn a lot as you go, but we look at this money as, and it, don't get me wrong, I have learned to appreciate the value of and the freedom that comes with money. And I give it all the respect in the world now. But there were all these things that I was aware of that I had to almost keep my mouth closed because nobody was at my vibrational level. So I couldn't even participate. I would have just taken over everything, but there wasn't even, sometimes I'll do that. I'll just like go in and take over and not even know. There wasn't even that opportunity because I was not ahead of this webinar. So it was at the moment this evening when I said, look at who I am. I see who I am. I'm not like everybody else. And there's a reason for it. And the reason is to share it with all you. And so I'm really excited because guess what? We can do whatever we want. That's another new thing I just learned. I can do whatever I want. There's a whole story behind that. So I want to interact. I would love to interact with you all. Questions and answers. That's how I work my best. I am going to be here for you, and we have so much to talk about, so much to work on, but it's all positivity, it's all good, and trust me, life is beautiful. Magic exists. Love is coming back in. We are going to start learning through these first stages here that we've seen happen right now in front of us. Are the first stages of us learning to use a little more of our heart rather than our heads day to day. And we are going to see an abundance of changes happen. So we're going to do it together, and we're going to do it safely, comfortably, and simply, okay? So I am thankful for you hearing me, being here with me, spending your time here with me. We're going to have to start me up somehow, so I think you need to like and subscribe, all that kind of stuff. And we're going to start this. Which ray to go? And then the bluebird. I'm going to have fun with my little bluebird friend. I love you all. I hope everybody is well and safe, and stay well and safe, and we'll get through this together. Peace out.